Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's have a coffee together. Well, we discussed this idea I had these days of making a video about running and fitness and being an intuitive and being a sensor, and how these two types, dominant and auxiliary intuitives versus dominant and intuitive sensors, seem to approach in a different manner the habit of working out and running in particular. Well, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should if you're interested in fitness, because over there I post a lot about the times when I go for a run, when I'm going to do a workout, because I want to motivate other people to do it as well. But I am very passionate about running. And one YouTuber friend of mine texted me the other day to say, like, how is it that as an ENFP you are very active and you love running, and like, how is it that you keep up? I don't remember exactly the words that she used. And I thought, well, am I censored then? Seriously, I thought that for a moment. And the doubt was so intense that I went on and took the test and tried to respond to the questions in the most censor way possible, because I thought, what if I never responded to the test in a very honest way? So, like, long story short, I still got intuitive. I took the what is the other type? The other test, socionics test as well, and I got INFJ type, which in reality is an INFP. But I know, like, in the end, I'm an ENFP, right? So, getting back to the subject, I am not a sensor, and as an intuitive and a very dominant intuitive person, I want to share how is it that I can continue to work out and to train and to run, which is one of the most sad is not the word, boring things. Excuse me, English is not my mother tongue, as you already know. One of the most boring activities for almost all of the dominant SE people I know. Dominant SI people I know don't seem to have it that hard, but at the same time, I think intuitive seems to thrive at running. So I was texting back and forth with this YouTuber friend. Her name is Amy Y. If you have seen my channel before, we had a conversation between ENFP and ESFP. So go and check that video. And thanks to her and this conversation we've been having back and forth, and like we've been sharing our insights on why intuitive seems to like more running and sports than sensors. I wanted to share, well, bits of, those conclusions that I got into those days, and also how is that for me work, and how is it I can stay consistent. I have, by the way, an upcoming video where I tell everything about how I maintain myself for now 20 years running and training, but that's an upcoming video. But I thought of making this video as well because I thought that maybe the insight of an intuitive who is very much into sports and into running can help a sensor, intuitive or auxiliary, who wants to be more consistent at it and don't find the motivation. Said that, let me get a sip of coffee. And by the way, you noticed already, but I did my hair today differently. Yeah, so I like to change sometimes, of course. Okay, if this is the first time here, I am Mindy. I didn't say my name today. I don't know why, but okay. What happens with the intuitives, dominant and auxiliary? I think my conclusion is that we love running, and I have other friends, ENFPs, who are like health freaks, like sports freak, runners, CrossFitters, name it. INFPs as well. INFJs tend to also be active. I'm not gonna say like wow, 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 but I think any dominant and any auxiliary tend to be more active. And yes, now that I think about it, I also have ENFJ friend who's very active, and INTP friend who's also very active. Oh, okay. But okay, let me get back to the subject. So I think the reason why we get back, like why we can stay committed and do it, and it's because we are focused on the bigger picture and the possibilities that this action is bringing into my life. Name it. I am going to lose weight. I am going to stay fit. I am going to look younger than what I am. Put the name on it, whatever it is. The intuitive dominant, and especially those NE dominant and auxiliary, that was a hard one. In my opinion, being one myself, we can do, or we can delay the satisfaction for later. And instead, we get the satisfaction from being able to do the thing that is going to bring me satisfaction later, because we use our intuition. And you can say, well, running exercises is a very SE activity. And, you know, like, well, SE activity should be something where ESFPs thrive, ESTPs thrive. And yes, I'm not going to say that they don't do it, they do, but maybe for them it seems to be like more difficult to stay committed to doing the same thing, as like running is the same thing on and on. There is not much of a change. Yes, you can do intervals, you can prepare yourself for a marathon or for different things, and you're going to train like more, less, longer, faster, whatever. But I see that they tend to want to practice different sports and move from one thing to the other, because for them it seems that the end result is the immediate result. So for them, the gratification is important in the moment. I want to go to do the workout because whatever, I want to have the workout done so I can move on to do the rest of my day, just to say something. But for an intuitive, extroverted intuitive, maybe for an NI dominant as well, because I know INTJs who also do their exercises, but maybe I can say that it's more of an NE thing, but I could be wrong. But NIs, I have seen you doing sports as well. But the NE dominants, what they do is that they would do the exercise today, not for the satisfaction of the thing today. Of course, I have the capacity to enjoy of the moment, and dominant people and auxiliary people of intuitive types, I mean, they can have fun in the moment, and they, of course, ENTPs, ENFPs, they would find a way, but it is more important why I'm doing this, and you know, who I'm becoming. It is very philosophical as well. Let's talk about running in itself. And this video, I hope, is being seen by runners, because if you're a runner, you will understand what I'm going to talk about, because I love running. Running is one of the most amazing activities for your mind. And that's something I was saying to this ESFP YouTuber friend. So, well, when you run, you are doing the same thing on and on. You can say physically, right? On the SE level, I am putting one foot after the other, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that seems to be boring, right? But in my mind, what is happening is that I am, number one, trying to endure. So that means that I have to kind of empty my head. And that challenge of having to empty my head, so I am not thinking of when am I going to be done, I am tired, or I don't know if I want to beat a record of mine in time, or a record in distance, for instance. I am not going to be thinking exactly like, okay, where am I right now? I don't even look at my watch, you know, because if I look at my watch, then I get too much in the here and now, and I don't enjoy it because I need to be kind of neutral. My mind needs to be in a sort of meditative state in order for me to achieve that little goal I have of running, let's say today, 10K, 15K, whatever it is. I need to have like that neutral mind, let's say. So it is quite philosophical as well, because even though, yes, you can try to do your mind to put it into neutral and zero and be meditating, there are moments when thoughts are going to come, just like during meditation, right? Thoughts come and go. And what I find the most exciting about, you know, doing this whole body repetition, one foot after the other, is that then in those moments, one of the best ideas of my life have came to me. It's like, I don't know where they come from, but they just land in me. And sometimes it's the answer to, you know, whatever I was thinking, or a problem, or a new video I want to make, or how I want to present something that I've been working on, even if it's a photo or a video, even if it's like a sentence or a chapter. I was writing last year, most of the year I was writing my book, and this year I had to put in pause to focus on other things, but I'm going to get back to it. But I know that sometimes when I didn't know what the next chapter was going to be or how I was going to approach it, while I was running, it's like the answer just boom, just came up, was just there. So running for an intuitive is an opportunity to be an empty vessel and to receive all of that download of information coming from, you know, the sum of forces of the universe, basically. If you're a sensor watching, maybe you would think that this is a bit flaky or lame, but that's how it feels. So let me get back into the real core of this subject. So because the intuitives, we can appreciate those moments of abstraction while we're running, because we, at the same time when we're struggling, because it's all of that happens at the same time, right? While we're struggling, we're trying to put like our let go of the pain, let go or surrender, and then you are kind of thoughtless, and then you get ideas and answers, and while at the same time you're holding all of this at the same time that you're trying to finish your workout of the day, your goal of the day. So that's a little piece into the big puzzle that is your goal. For instance, my own goal is I just want to be fit for life. So if I want that, I have to keep doing my thing, and I just show up and I do it. So on the other hand, for the sensors, and especially for SE, as you can see, Annie seems to be the ones for whom this is the easiest one to do, and SE seems to be the ones for whom this running thing is the most tedious thing. But also, like, showing up to do sports constantly also seems to be a bit of a struggle. For SE dominant, and then it's easier. One example this person told me was, it's easier to just grab a pizza, eat a pizza, than to, you know, do the whole effort that it contains going to the gym or going for a run and all of that. So let me get into the last part of this video, which is what SE dominant, or let's say people who don't feel that called to exercise, can do from an NE dominant, or someone who has managed to be engaged and to keep doing this thing, aka me. But I need a drink. So, one tip. I have another video on my channel where I talk about the relationship between the ENFP and the ESFP. I'm going to quote the video down below where I tell my experience with an ex-partner of mine, and I'm going to tell you what this person did in order to become a runner. He's now a marathoner, now that we're not together anymore, but he used to hate running before he met me. Then I took him to run with me a few times. He hated it still. But then he found his way. So one thing that he did in order to be able to run, let's just use the example of run. You can adjust it to any other activity that you find tedious and repetitive. Let's use running because it's the one I know and the one I love. So one thing that for him was crucial was that he needed to feel that he was competing to another person, because that's like an instant gratification. In that moment, at the moment that he felt that he was going faster than me, and I was never competing with him because, by the way, I hate competition. Like, as I said, I ran for like 20 years of my life, and I have only gone to 3 runs in my whole life, and 2 of them were because of this person, and the other run was because of another person. But from my own initiative, I don't do it. So sensor types and people who don't feel very self-motivated to do this, find a goal based on competition. That is instant gratification. So if you're gonna run with a friend, that can be a great way, because you are going to feel very excited if you can go faster than them, or if you can keep up for longer time than what they do. And that's one way. Another way is that you sign up for a 5K run or whatever, miles. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with miles, but let's say a run of a couple of miles. I don't know, I'm going to talk in kilometers, I'm really sorry. 5K, 10K, whatever goal you have. Because let's say if you are going to train, you're going to sign up for a competition every 3 months or something, you're going to be training maybe a month and a half in advance for that competition, you see, or 2 months, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And after you're done with that, then you sign up for another one. And that's another technique that I'm going to tell you my ex used to use in order to do that, to like, ultimately he was running marathons. So that was that. The other thing was also having another goal that it's not precisely connected to running. So let's say you want to hike up a pike in your city, a mountain, but you know that if you run, for instance, I'm talking about the example of running, you can use it in another way, right? Maybe you want to do CrossFit because that's going to improve your performance or your overall fitness, right? So you are gonna climb up this super whatever tall or amazing mountain you want to hike, but you know that if you go running, you're going to be able to endure it. You see, so you have a goal and you work for that goal, and the goal should not be very far away from the present moment, okay? Another thing, this is a funny one, that this person did, this ESFP, he used to run chasing Pokemons. So he would be running with his phone in his hand trying to find Pokemons. And I remember normally he would be very pissed off because we would start running together, and I consider myself like I'm more of a long distance runner. And let's say after 8 kilometers he would stop, and I would come home after, and I did 16 kilometers. And he was like jealous of me. And then one day he realized that by chasing Pokemons he could run as much as I did. So one day he went without me and ran 20K and came like to rub it on my face. It was still competition, you see, with me. But that's something that can help a sensor. Another thing is keep the goal in mind. Like, let's say you don't want to do that and you just want to run because you just want to improve your overall fitness, and you don't have anyone with whom you can compete, or you don't want to go and hike a mountain, so you don't want to be preparing yourself to run that, like to go on the hike or to do a marathon, awesome. Then try to do what as intuitives or extroverted, intuitive, dominant, and auxiliary do in a natural way. I think I said something wrong at the beginning now that I realize. I always have it wrong when I talk about, sorry that I changed the subject. When I talk about the cognitive functions, ENFJs, I said at the beginning, NE, but ENFJs, NI. But okay, what the sensors can do, emulating what the extroverted intuitives, or the intuitives, let's say, do while you're running, or while you're doing the sport that you want to do, you don't think anymore about how difficult it is and that you want right now to be having fun and eating a pizza. And instead of that, you start noticing what the oxygen does to your lungs. How, while at the same time you're feeling tired and you're feeling like you want to quit, at the same time you notice how your heartbeat is going faster, how that is going to pump more oxygen into your whole body, how your cells are going to rejuvenate. So maybe this is something that you're not going to feel and to see immediately, but that you have to keep in mind. So while you are feeling that you want to give up on that, then you notice that, okay, this is actually doing something good to my body. And the instant gratification would not be in that moment, but it will be when you finish running. Then you were gonna feel, when you take a shower, right? And you have your breakfast or whatever meal after, you're going to feel like your body feels like, maybe you're going to feel sore at the beginning, but in the end, you're going to start feeling that you used your muscles, you know, and the fact that you have a little bit of pain means that you used your body. It means that you are doing something good to your body. So I think that if you want to endure sensor, extroverted sensor, or maybe introverted sensor, or maybe intuitive, if you're not really into fitness, this is for everybody who wants to do this, and to be more committed to do something that they find boring but is good for them, aka sports. I would advise that you pay attention to the subtle details, you know, and also notice what happens in your mind while you're running. And if you think all the time about negative thoughts about the action that you're doing, pay attention to that and try to be mindful and try to just get back into feeling the air, into looking at whatever, the trees, the people around you, wherever you are, like be more mindful and be present. And another thing is that while you're running, if you want to quit, do what us intuitives or people who enjoy doing this do. It's like we think also, maybe not consciously and maybe not every time, but very often, we think of why we're doing this, right? And if you are doing this because you want to lose weight, then just think about it, and you have to know and embrace the fact that you're not going to lose that amount of kilos or pounds in one session. You need to show up continuously, and it's one step at a time. So you are already, while you're walking, you're already in that path. You're walking a step, and eventually you're going to see the results. So you need to trust that, to embrace that, and to remember and to see yourself in the future that you are already that person. That's something that we kind of, I think we do naturally. As I said, every person has their own fitness goal, but for me, one of them is like, okay, I want to be fit my whole life. I want to feel strong. I want to, you know, feel energized at whatever age I'm at. And yeah, well, I don't know. I hope this helps you. Well, this video has been also a bit more of a kind of natural video than others, because I thought, or I felt more than thought, that I want to come here and talk and edit it. Sometimes I say that, but I end up editing the video. But yeah, this time I'm feeling my channel is changing, and you're gonna see more soon, because I am changing. If I change, my channel changes. Even my hair changes, you can see. But I hope you enjoyed this kind of video with this format. I mean, I'm gonna finish my coffee because it's almost cold. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I love to read you in the comments. So I read you in the comments. Love and peace. Till next time. Bye.